Hello beautiful people, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Now you know that when I'm in the car it's going to be a fun video, and as you can see from the title, I'm going to talk about living in Malta. Now in my previous video, Get to Know Me Tag, I spoke about me living in Malta and how happy I am over here. And I received quite a lot of messages from people that are abroad, and especially people that are not from the European Union. I came up with an idea and I decided to do this video. Now if the video turns out to be over 15 minutes or so, down in the description I'm going to list all the minutes where you can find the topics that I'm talking about, which is startup, visa, salary packages, accommodation, working in Malta, spending money in Malta, literally everything. Now let's start driving around Malta. I'll show you some nice scenery of the island. We'll find a beautiful spot with my friends and we're gonna start with the video. Now let's go. Okay, so finally now I found a spot here in the south of Malta, and I'm currently in a place which is called Vasilevski. Now I'm gonna start with the topics. Now the first topic, and the very important if you're planning to move to Malta, for everyone who is not from the European Union, here you're considered as a third national country, which means that you need to apply for a visa. Now when it comes to residence visa, it's basically your work permit visa as well, so you need to find an employer. You can either go through a cleaning service company or directly with your employer. They will apply for your visa. However, you need to pay, and roughly it costs around 275 euros at this time of the year. Now, considering that we are going through this world pandemic, Malta has stopped new visas for new applicants. So unfortunately at the moment they're not proceeding with any new visa applications, but I'm 100% sure that in no time things will change. Now from the other hand, if you're planning to open a company in Malta, it's still available, so you can still open a company, and if you go on Identity Malta, you will be able to find all the information of how you can obtain a license to start a company and open a VAT as well. Now the next and very important thing, regardless if you're EU or non-EU, is your accommodation. When it comes to accommodation, there are places from where you can find an accommodation. You can either find an accommodation through websites such as Malta Park or on Facebook. On Facebook there are pages like Expats Malta and Accommodation Malta. I'll link them down all in the description below so you can have a look at them. And the other option and the safest option is through real estate company. Now when it comes to Facebook, one very interesting thing about Malta is that there are so many people, so many different nationalities. So there are people from literally all over the world. There are plenty of Facebook pages where people can easily find new friends to go hiking, swimming, kayaking, and fun things that you can do in Malta.
Sorry.
Now I mentioned the diversity of nationalities in Malta. Me, as an expatriate myself as well, I adore meeting new people, new cultures, new traditions. I like learning about people, so Malta is one of the best places, like Dubai as well. For those of you that do not know, I used to live in Dubai. So I love places where you can find people from all over the world, and Malta is one of those places. Everyone is so welcoming over here. You can easily find friends from the locals, and you can easily find friends from any part of the world. Once you have your friends settled down, it's time for you to find a job. Now when it comes to finding a job, one of the easiest places is maltapark.com, where you can choose categories on which field you would like to work. And when it comes to working in Malta, the tourism here is booming. It's insane how many work opportunities there are in the tourism sector, whether it's restaurants, hotels, tour attractions. Then there is a lot of work in real estate, a lot of working in construction, and one of the best fields where you can find a job, and it's quite highly paid as well, is the gaming industry. Gaming industry, it's also something that is booming on the island. Now once you're settled down with the... Wait a minute, I'm looking at the monitor, I can see my microphone here. Sorry if it's distracting you, but the microphone is here because we have a little bit of wind coming this way, so it's quite difficult finding a good spot where I can speak without getting the sun hitting in my eyes. And just for the record, this thing is next to my face. Okay, change of a position because my legs hurt. Now when it comes to accommodation, the island is divided into central area, north area and south area. And if you're working in the center of the island, you will save yourself quite a lot on petrol. However, the only disadvantage is that the central area is quite populated, so there is a lot of construction work going on, which I'm gonna talk about later on in the video. So any newcomer, I would highly suggest you to stay in the center of the island, which is a little bit more expensive than any other part of the island when it comes to renting an apartment, but it will help you a lot on timing and on money as well. Now, I'm going to talk quickly about two topics, and the first one is that the island is extremely safe. As I mentioned, I've been living here for 6 years, and thanks God I haven't experienced any crime yet. I haven't experienced any abuse of any kind, which brings me to another topic. Now, I don't like labels, but I have to mention for the sake of the video so people can understand what exactly I would like to say. But Malta, it's a paradise for LGBTI people. Here, most of the gay rights are approved. You can get married, you can get into civil union, no one is bullying you out on the streets, everyone is accepted here, which brings me to the other part, which is about the local people. Now, I personally find the local people extremely helpful. They're so kind-hearted, they're so welcoming, they're so warm, and I have never had any issues with any local. I've been accepted fully, regardless of where I'm coming from, in both my personal life and in my work life. So if you're coming on the island, I'll just give you a tip. Be kind to anyone, be kind to one another, be kind to anybody regardless of where they're coming from. But if you're going into another country and you're trying to live over there, pay taxes like everyone else, you have to respect the local people. Now, this doesn't come only about Malta, it comes for any other place that you go in the world. When I mentioned warm people, something clicked on my mind, and it's about the weather. I didn't mention that Malta has 300 out of 365 days per year with sun. 300 days, it's nearly 10 months. Imagine living in a place where you have 10 months of a sun throughout the whole year. That's incredible. Which takes me to the other part, and it's about the cons living in Malta. The first and most important is the rent. The rent are quite expensive, considering that the average salary in Malta is around, if I'm not mistaken, 1,200 euros. But an average salary of 1,200 euros and an average apartment of like 600 euros, the balance is not that good. But there is always the possibility of sharing your apartment with your friends, or... what was that? Oh yeah, by the way, I am next to a shipyard, and if you hear a boat or something, that's another topic. Now, the other con is, since the weather is so warm during the summertime, it's very important for you to have air condition or a fan at home. We do experience quite a lot of hot weather and quite a lot of warm humidity as well throughout the summer period, which I personally love, but there are many people that they do not like the humidity. But the good side of this is that the sea is all over around you, and it's in few minutes you're next to a beach and you can just dip in and cool yourself. Now, the next thing that I would like to say as a con living in Malta is the public transport. I don't use public transport, but my friends that are using public transport are saying that they're never on time. And also, if you catch a bus, more likely during the summer times you need to wait for the next one because this one was full, which I don't see it as a big disadvantage. You can always get a taxi, which are quite affordable here on the island, and just find your way wherever you want to go. Now, the last thing that I would like to say as a con of living, I always do this because I personally don't see those as cons. I don't see them as anything that affects me. But it's the construction work. The construction work, people say that it's quite annoying, and many people are saying that it's like a concrete jungle, which in reality, no, it's not. There's so many beautiful places around the island, and I think you might have seen in the intro shot where I showed certain areas of the island, you see in fact how green Malta is. But my point was, when it comes to construction, this brings a lot of dust, unfortunately, from all the cement and everything. But from the other hand, it brings a lot of work for more people, which is in construction and also in real estate. I'm trying to film. Which brings a lot of people in the real estate business as well. Now finally we came up to the end of the video, and I'm so happy that everything turned out so well. Please like this video if you enjoyed watching it, and click the subscribe button down below. And I hope this video is going to be very helpful for anyone that is watching and is considering moving in Malta. You can always just send me a message and ask whatever you like about Malta. I'm always happy to meet new people, I'm always happy to interact with new people, and I'm always happy to help new people. Now, until I see you in my next video. Bye. Yay!